43? 40... 43, yeah. Your Wednesday edition. And I have had a bad time. I gotta tell you. Ow, my foot's falling asleep. Make things worse. Let's see. So, I worked on this recently, and that's part of an episode. Oh, and they're burning skeletons on the hills, no big deal. And I had all my stuff arranged here. You'll probably see this before you'll see the Project 6 episode. And I had all my workstation stuff here, and then literally, I think 3 things blew up behind me at once, because when I came back, freaking almost everything was gone. I managed to save a few things, but very, very little. Some of which, though, I want to bring back with me. So, here's I'm going to head back towards Origin so that whenever Caffeine happens to get online, we can goof off. And I don't have to think about this stuff. So, let's see here. But yeah, I lost my good bow. I lost a pick that was just like this one, but a little bit further along. So I stooped into getting into my nether ender chest and getting out the replacement. My toaster sword. Just so much stuff was lost. It was heart destroying, really. Pretty horrible. Whoops. Yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to bring with me, was the one and only Wither Skull, which thankfully survived the event. Bring that back with me. Do I want any of this stuff? Oh yeah, that's right. I should make another thing. But I don't want. I made a bunch of books to see how that worked. I didn't really get anything that was terribly interesting to me. Let's see. Protection, power, efficiency. No, none of that really helps me right now. But I want to bring these. I need more clay. I really need more clay. In fact, I think I'll do that now. Get water breathing and night vision. And I already have the thing. Because I remember there was one... I think home is back this way. And if I cross across the landscape, there was an inner... I found an inner large pond that had plenty of clay. So let's go looking for that again. Now, today, I want to complain. It's like, oh no, not that again. I complain a lot, right? Yeah, I do. And I'm going to do it again today. So, screw you. Am I going the right way? Yeah. Northeast? No, I need to be going northwest. Good thing I checked. Of course, I could have looked at the sky, too. Anyways... TLDR. Okay? That pretty much sums it up. There's something about people today. I don't know... Is it a defense mechanism? I mean, I need you to explain it to me. Why do people militantly not care about things? You see this, I realize it's probably true everywhere you go, but I've become addicted to Imgur and the comments there, and I will be making an effort to disassociate from that. But in the meantime, I'm just distressed at the people on there, and I've read something today that's suggesting that they're largely the same as other notorious sites like 4chan and 9gag, things I thankfully have never been to, and considering the reputation they have, will never go to. But be that as it may, Imgur, I am going to. Every once in a while, there's someone who will pull me in. They'll be decent, or even if they disagree, they'll disagree civilly, and they'll actually bring to the table points that I can then think about and consider and sometimes even agree with, and have to come away from the conversation with a little bit of a reevaluation period. That does happen, but it's rare. And most of the time, even rarer is when anybody does that for me. I mean, the guys who I do consider are probably more or less like me, where they have a strong sense of a topic, and they are quite happy to regale you on it, but they're not actually interested in anything in return. And I don't want to say I'm that way, but definitely there are some topics on which I'm quite convinced, and I basically argue from that standpoint. And it's rare that then I will consider a counterpoint, because it seems so cut in stone. Any counterpoint must be wrong. And that's one of the errors that I'm trying to combat, not just elsewhere, but in myself. And it's not easy. So I generally forgiving other people who do it, because I'm pretty sure I'm doing it myself. It's just when it happens, the topic is so, from my perspective, cut and dry that it really shouldn't seem like an arguable or inarguable. I don't know how to put it exactly. That said, just getting that part of it out of the way, they're the people who don't care, and they're the ones that distress me. Okay, the people who are happy to attack you. You know, we're talking not really trolls. Trolls are looking for an argument. They don't care about the topic. They just want to give somebody a hard time, and they'll use any of a number of means, including character assassination and rhetoric and I know you are, but what am I kind of stuff. And it's just incessant. They'll reply and they'll reply and they'll reply. You have to eventually give up, no matter how honest and how right you are. There's no arguing with this person, because they're not interested in anything except arguing. I have one in the family, so I have some pretty direct experience with it. Oh, come on, show me where this inland sea is. It was here, I swear. But again, another classification of person here, or at least when they're in their online mode, is the TLDR person, the person who cannot be bothered to know things. Even when they're demonstrating, like yesterday there was a thing about sugar again, which is a pretty big topic for me since I have direct experience with how bad it is. And how limiting it, you don't really have to get rid of it, but limiting it actually does really, really good things for you. Direct experience with that. So it's very, people who want to argue against me on that topic are in for it, basically. And they do that, but, so, and I generally mean well when I start off by saying, well, someone posts a picture of having eaten a full tub of Ben & Jerry's, which I have done myself. Tub being, this quart size or whatever it is. Ooh, here we go. This is what I'm looking for. And I replied to this basically saying, I love this stuff, but it really is basically a slow death. A slow, painful death. It's best to avoid. They didn't want to hear it. And their replies were to that, we're just to the other side of the effect of not to shut down the debate, but to just keep saying, so what? I want to taste this. Who cares what the consequences are? And that's pretty distressing. And so you make the mistake then, or I make the mistake of assuming, well, if I just tell them why and how it works, then they'll see, right? And they don't. They'll even, some of the ones who will say, that's probably true, but I don't care because I like how it tastes. They don't care that they're effectively cutting their lifespan in half and driving, are the driver of 75 to 80% of all Medicare costs in the country, which they're perfectly happy to complain about when it's time to pay the bills. Oh, I hate how other people, I'm paying for other people's medical costs. They are the other people. When they imbibe and they binge on the sugar stuff and they become essentially a sugarholic and end up with all this visceral fat and metabolic syndrome stuff, it can't end well. And so it's a bit hypocritical, but the part that, like I said before, the part that really messes me up is their complete disinterest in actually following through on a topic. Like, it's hard to explain. It sounds like sand to me. What is this? It looks like sand too. Meanwhile, that stupid inland sea I promised you seems to be missing. It's hard. I don't understand. You're willing to be combative with somebody. Well, yeah, it's generally these days revolving around the sugar thing, because Dr. Lustig's 2 videos, each an hour and a half. Is this it? No, this looks like ocean to me. Yeah, it's too big. It was a shallow but large pond, and I can't even run straight anymore. I should have just... I don't know. Or maybe this is it. No. Looks like there's a little bit here, but not what I'm looking for. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. But, you know, you're trying to help people or, you know, give them a resource so they can help themselves. Because I understand you can't just shove information down people's throat. If they don't already believe it, they're not going to accept it. And that's a concept that is both alien to me. I don't understand that, even though I may unwittingly be doing it myself. But I just don't understand not wanting to know, I guess. When you're provided with a good resource, why do you avoid it? Why do you, you know, the comments I've gotten are things like TLDR, even though it's a video. Who's got time for that? Well, no offense, you know, on the sugar topic, if you make time for it, your return on investment will be like 50 years of lifespan, okay? Because the people with metabolic syndrome and the visceral fat, whatever, which is different from subcutaneous, you're taking 40 or 50 years off your lifespan. We see people die from this all the time. So, and not to mention how much less you'd have to spend on medical insurance because, you know, assuming everybody was wise and started eating correctly again, which is not easy. I'm not trying to blame people. This is an absolute addictive substance. I feel like I've missed something. This is not looking familiar to me. However, so I don't have anything intelligible to say on this. It's just expressing frustration and confusion with the whole mindset of avoiding information. There's, you know, if there's information I disagree with, I will still read it. The information I avoid is the information I don't know I'm avoiding, which is pretty much the thrust of it for me. But these people are, it's not the same. They know it's there, and they specifically do not want to engage with it. And so what is the mechanism behind that? Is that if they don't know, it's not true, or ignorance is bliss? I mean, there's no amount of ignorance that's going to protect you from the fact that metabolic syndrome is going to cut your life in half and make yours and everybody else's medical expenses more expensive. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't have an answer for you on this one. I don't know why people do it. I just know they do, and I know it's very frustrating, and I know it's... If humanity, as a generality, is going to crash and burn and fail, it's because of this. All the things we're doing will be ultimately the cause, but the reason it's able to persist rather than being fixed is because of this. People don't want to know. They avoid it. It's a plague. Information, data, knowledge is a plague. I don't understand. And I definitely feel like I'm lost. Oof. I mean, that's a sandbar. I don't believe there are any sandbars where I'm going. Okay. Well, I've complained enough. Like I said, I don't have any useful thing to say about it. I'm just complaining, and I should be able to do that every once in a while. It was on the top of, you know... Have I come in a circle? I found a sandbar. Interesting. Well, regardless, I'll find my way home. There's another piece right there. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with it. I'll try to come up with something more interesting tomorrow. And, in the meantime, have a good night, and be good.